were the richest country in the world. We were at our richest from 1870 to 1913. That's what.
This clip actually should be deeply concerning to everyone because I will walk you through all the research I've done today, but the patterns are patterning. They actually are successfully taking us back to one of the darker ages in American history for the average person. So they've let us know when America was actually great in their eyes, but I want you to elaborate, sir, who was the richest at this time? Because 1817 to 1913 was the Gilded Age. And yes, this was a time of rapid industrialization, but it was also a time of prosperity specifically just for the wealthy. And it saw rampant exploitation and extreme poverty for the working class. Everyone else was suffering while the billionaire class were throwing extravagant events and having the time of their life. In fact, the reason it got the name Gilded Age is because gilded means a very thin layer of gold on something, which referred to a very small amount of people holding all the wealth. Does this sound familiar? This was a point in time where the wealth disparity gap between the top and the bottom was one of the largest, if not maybe the largest we've ever seen. In fact, the income and lifestyle disparity was so large that in 1890, 11 million of the nation's 12 million families lived below the poverty line. 92% of everyone in the country lived in poverty. In 1880, the average wages of an American worker were $347 a year. If you adjust that for today, that is still only $10,399. Could you live off that for a year? And what they mean by rapid economic growth is that 10 years later, that number had risen to $445 or almost $15,000. So whilst that is impressive wage growth, that's still living well below the poverty line. And ironically, counter to their American standard family image, women had to get involved in the workforce. So say bye-bye families. Really, one of the only decent things to come out of this was the rise of labor unions only because things were so bad for people of the working class. That's what these guys want us to return to. Every single person suffering except for them.